Good evening, everyone. This is Kim with Kim's Creations and Card Ministries. Pull my camera down just a little bit. Sorry, I had it to have it just a touch too high. Kim with Kim's Creations and Card Ministries coming to you live on Monday night, 8:40, February 26th. February's almost over. This is one of those years that we get to leap and get an extra day in February. Which my paycheck is real happy with that. Um, so anyway, got something different going on tonight. I did last time I came on. I think I did some. I pulled out the new paper pumpkin kit. It's the little Easter one with the Easter bunny. Can't remember what it's called. What's it called? It's called. Here it is. Sweet Springtime. It's the one that looks like this. And I did a on the fly card that turned out real cute. I think I ended up making maybe one adjustment to it after I got off. And I've got some more in my bin here somewhere if I can find them. I'm going to share those with you. Also, okay, here we go. I'm finding my stuff now. Also, just a reminder that the end of February is the end of celebration. Oh, it's so sad. I feel like celebration should go 3 months instead of two. Just my personal opinion, because it doesn't seem like it's long enough. Plus, I lost the whole month of January when I was sick. So it was like I didn't really do that much in January. I didn't do a whole lot in February because then my dad was sick and in and out of the hospital. And then I've got other family members that have been sick. So it's just been a rough start to 2024, but we're getting through it and pushing on, taking one day at a time, and trusting that God's gonna take care of us. So anyway, so I'm gonna share my cards that I made, my alternatives that I made with the kit, but I'm not going to show you how I made them tonight because I've gotten involved in a new project and I want to kind of show you a little bit of what's going on with that. And my desk is a mess because when I start crafting and things and I'm exploring and experimenting and not real sure what I'm going to do, it kind of gets like very chaotic looking. Um, some stuff I'm using, some stuff I'm not using. I've put things away and ended up pulling them back out, so it's just kind of I started off putting things away, then like go back and get it. So I'm back and forth with all of that. So anyway, but just again, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. This is the last of the month, the last time you're going to be able to get any of the free products when you spend $50 with Stampin' Up. You can still get something free from me when you spend $50, but the Stampin' Up! Bonus papers and dies and stamp sets and all the things that they have where you can get things for $100 or for $50, those are going away. So hop in there and get them. I haven't been on there today to see what's available. I was going to place an order today and then time just got away from me and I didn't. I might still do it before I go to bed. And I'm hoping that the few items that are the free with purchase items that I've been wanting are still available. Because there's a couple that I went back and decided after the fact that I wanted that I had not gotten yet. I had doubled up on some of the things, like I liked that bird paper a lot, so I got extra bird paper, and think I got extra. Maybe the tool paper, I can't remember, but there were some things I got extras of, but I didn't get at all, some of the stuff, and now I'm decided I want them. But anyway, it's all good. We'll get what I can get, and hopefully, I have no idea if that messes up my screen or not. Um, hang on a minute. Got a message coming. Hang on just a minute. I do have somebody that I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on some messages from because of illnesses and stuff. Okay. Mm. Okay. Anyway, let me just message my daughter so she'll know what I'm doing. Sorry, y'all. Like I said, there's a lot going on in my family right now, so I don't want to respond. I don't want to not respond. Sorry about that, though. Okay, so maybe she'll come watch my live since I told her I was doing my live right now and I couldn't talk. All right, let me make sure can see myself so that I know um, that I'll be on the screen. Yeah, there it is. When I lower my camera here in a second. Let me make sure I am. There we go. I am, and you don't need to hear me talk a second time. Oh, and okay, so the new project I'm working on. Hang on, let me put my camera down. Oh, it's that one right there. All right, and I've got a visitor at my desk, and there she is, my little Ivy. She's getting into everything. So this is what I was getting ready to say. So I've and you can see a large portion of my mess. Um, I am exploring the world of junk journaling. And so most of this mess is because of the junk journaling explorations that I'm doing at the moment. Um, and little Miss Ivy here. Hey, Ivy. Hi, darling. Hi, pretty girl. So you can see her face. My little Miss Ivy here, she likes to jump up here with me and get into just about everything when I'm stamping. And she walks through my ink pads and she plays with all the paper. Um, so yeah, she's into everything. She was born December the 6th, so she's almost 3 months old. I'm having to teach her not to bite me, and I need to trim her nails. I tried trimming them a little while ago. She was not too happy with me. So I think that's why she hasn't been in here before now this evening, because I've been in here for an hour and she hadn't bothered me until now that I'm videoing. All right, so what I'm going to be doing, it took so long to get 50 viewers on my channel. I don't want to do a new channel right now for my junk journals, so I'm going to combine my junk journaling with my card making. I'm still using lots of Stampin' Up products on my junk journals. So, you'll still see me using those products. Some of them are retired though, and I will be using some products that are not Stampin' Up as well. So, and I'll let you know what I'm using and where you can get it and that sort of thing. But actually, I haven't spent very much money at all because the idea with junk journaling is to use what you have. And so that's primarily what I'm doing. I did buy a couple of tools that will make the junk journaling a little easier. But overall, I've not spent any money for junk journals. Now, since Ivy likes to spend so much time with me at my desk, especially when I'm junk journaling, and I think it's because I have so much stuff spread out and so many things for her to play with, I'm going to call my sessions in junk journaling stamping and paper crafting, stamping and paper crafting with Inky Ivy, because that's Ivy and she gets inky. So stamping and paper crafting with Inky Ivy will be what my titles are when I'm doing junk journals. So just putting that out there. Let's see, was there anything else? Okay, I don't think so. So I'm going to show you my cards that I made with that kit. Oops, that's not that. That's something else. All right, so I think the one that I was doing with y'all that day, I think it was this one. I think this is the one we made together that night when I was doing on the fly stamping. So this was my first alternative. And I believe I went in, like I maybe added a couple little leaves or something to this I can't remember. Maybe I added that bow. Um, and then there's the inside. I haven't decided what I'm going to stamp on the inside yet, but this is an Easter card. All right. And then I did I think I did 4 more alternatives. So I'm going to show those to you. They're pretty self-explanatory. But so this background here is one of the envelopes. That's daffodil yellow, I believe. I just stamped the bunny, stamped 3 little chicks, and I colored them with the blends. And I put that little bit of lemon lolly. I think that's what it's called. No, it's called lemon lime twist ribbon. It was that 2-pack, and it came with that and the petal pink. This is the die cut that came from the set that they're offering as an add-on to the January, February, March Stampin' Up! Paper pumpkin kits. So that was that die cut from that. And then here's my inside. Again, I used a piece of the envelope, and then I used the little die cut to cut the daffodil and the leaf. And so what you do is you cut it out once in green and once in yellow, and then you glue the yellow flower on top. I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. At least I knew ahead of time. I've been sneezing and and not knowing. And then I also decided to do this on this, I think it's smoky slate. Yeah, I believe it is a smoky slate. Just using some different colors for my Easter cards. I thought that turned out real pretty though. The next one, I did a little book fold card. Now this was one of the card bases, and I cut it into a square. I think it's 3 1/4 square, and then this is a little bit bigger, and then I believe this is 4, or this is 4 1/4. The fresh freesia would be 4, and then this one's just a little bit smaller than that. And again, this was a piece of an envelope. This is part of that wreath punch out that I cut down and did it like this. Again, I took some of the ribbons from that jewel ribbon pack. I used the pink, petal pink, and the lemon lime twist. This came out of the packet, one of the punch outs. I added, just to add some dimension, I added one of the punch out daffodils and a leaf that I had to die cut. And I was trying to remember if I cut out any of those little purples. I did not there. And then on the inside, I used another little piece. So you can see I cut off part of this banner. So there's the other half of the banner on the inside of the card. And this was the stamp in the stamp set, and I colored it, and then the little chicken. So that's my third alternative. My next alternative, I used some scraps I had laying around. I had this scrap of Flirty Flamingo where I had die cut a circle from the Stylish Shape Styles, I believe is where that come. I stamped a bunny and fussy cut him out. I fussy cut these little chickens out from the piece it's supposed to be like the center of the card, and it's on the pale pink background. I fussy cut those little guys out. This again is part of the wreath. So this is half of the wreath, and the other half of the wreath is right here. This is the die cut for the daffodil little chicken. I stamped him and cut him out. I used this is the die that not the die, the embossing folder that you get free. It comes with a stamp set. In the celebration, you get the stamp set with the embossing folder free with a $100 purchase. See if you can see that design. It's really cool. You can see it's still some in here too, but it's a shame I covered it up as much as I did. And then this one I think I did on pecan pie. And again, I cut out a chick, and this is the die cut. And then, where did that one? I'm not sure. I don't remember what that die cut out of. That little leaf right there, I can't remember. But there is my fourth Ivy. Whoosh, climbing up my leg. That hurts. Here, jump on the chair, baby. You can jump on the chair. And then on me. I'm standing up. And then I did one more. One more alternative. So I've done a total of 5. And I've only used the stuff that you would use to make one of each of the things. Oh, and I've been working on a box too. Oh no, that's not good. That was my drink from last night that I never put away. And I knocked it. Okay. All right. So anyway, okay. The little box. So I'm not quite finished with my little box. I've got something I want to put here and just haven't finished it yet. But I did decide to go ahead and make the little boxes. So I'll be making 3. But I added a lot of embellishment. Added the bow, added a chick from, and then I put these daffodils on the sides. And then I'm probably going to put Easter greetings or something. I'm thinking about putting this springtime's greetings right here. But this die was too big. So I was going to find something else. Well, let me take that back. I had one cut out with a little chicken right here. It was too big to fit with the chicken. So I've got to go back and try something different for my little box. But then I did this card, and it's got this little pocket in the front. So it's kind of like a little basket with a pocket. So there's those little chicks again that I had fussy cut to go right here. So they were on a piece with this background. This time I just used my hexagon punch and punched them out. That background is part of the envelope. This background is part of an envelope, I believe. Or no, it was a card base. This was the card base. And so I've used it again here. I've used the checks again here. I put something on the back. What did I do? I did the bunny on the back. This was part of, this right here was part of this little piece that the bunnies were on. So that was, so it was kind of like a tag that the, or not the bunnies, the chickies were on. So that goes in there. And then this does open like a card. And so there's the inside. So 1, 2, 5. 5 alternatives. I will come back with some more alternatives later, and I'll show you. I can give you more measurements and details on these other ones, because we'll do another one of these. They're, well, maybe not. I might have to do one a little different than this, because I think I only had one of the Flirty Flamingo like this, but I probably have another one in another color. Alrighty, so I'm going to put the paper pumpkins away. So if you're interested in the junk journal, stick around for a little bit here. I'm going to just do a few things while I have you on. Somehow, like I said, I've got such a big mess. Somehow last night I've misplaced my ruler. So I'm going to have to like put everything away, probably, so I can find the missing items. Hey, Brody. So Brody came for a visit. Hey, darling, what's the matter? Hey. Hello. Sweet Brody. All right, I'm going to pull my chair up, so watch your little feet. Watch your feet, darling. All right. So this is what I've been working on this evening. And I just decided I wanted to share it because it's just so cute to not share. Now, I have all kinds of things laying around that I might pull in and use on the journal. So I've been watching this lady called, her name is Pam. She's with the Paper Outpost. She's been doing this for a long time, doing junk journals. And she has so many neat ideas, and I've been watching her and coming up with ideas. And she did a little pocket kind of like this, like an envelope card that I watched her do a couple days ago. And I was working on this, and then my paper tore. So I'm trying to repair it. So this is made out of an old book page. This one was... Oh, it was a Reader's Digest. It was from like 1960 something. It was like one of the first ones. And So this is going to be a little envelope. I'm not finished with it yet. Um, but I just folded the book page to make the envelope. Inked the edges a little bit, although the edges were already kind of yellow. I've used some cardstock. I mean, not cards, well, some cardstock, and I've used some designer paper. These are some retired, this is a retired pack from last spring. And then this was just some little paper that I had in an old notebook that I had saved. It was actually, I had a little notebook and I had taken a bunch of the pages out of it because I made kind of a little scrapbook out of it for my niece for her graduation from college, and finally finished it and gave it to her. But there was no way I could keep every page in there. So I tore out a whole bunch of the pages, which is this, and then I just trimmed off the side. But so here are some places where you can write, or you can glue in photos if you want to, if you've got photos you want to glue in. And then there's a pocket behind that journaling sheet, so you could tuck something in here. And then there's a pocket behind this one, so you could also tuck something in here. Now, I kind of messed this up a little bit because I should have cut my paper a little bit smaller than what I did. So it's kind of hanging off the top edge right here, but it still folds closed, so I'm okay. And I haven't decided on what I'm going to do for my closure yet, but I am thinking about, so this, it's going to be going somewhere on this page spread, which right now is just like greens. So I'm thinking about pulling in some pink on this page. So I'm thinking about using this little rose right here as part of my closure, and then maybe adding some little pink accents to the inside. And I'm also thinking about putting another pocket back here. This is where, so this seam is what tore right here. I sponged my seams with the ink, and I probably didn't need to. So you can see where I've sponged this one right here, because it made the paper more delicate when I sponged it on both sides. So I'm probably going to be a little bit more cautious of sponging too much on the creases of my book pages, especially these really old book pages. Now, I got a couple books that I'm using that aren't really that old, but I'm sponging the edges and stuff of them anyway. And put these other cards away. I think I've shown y'all those other cards. I'll put those away. So, oh, this is pretty. This will go on this page too. Look at that. This was on the old piece of scrapbook paper that I had gotten somewhere, and it had lots of little cute little pieces I could cut out of it, and I had cut this one out, and I just saw it laying there a minute ago. And then there's another girl that I've been following on YouTube, and I believe Tracy Fox, I think is her name. And she's got some papers that you can get from her free. You just download them and get them printed off. And since I just had them printed on copy paper, I backed them all with some inexpensive cardstock, so they wouldn't be quite as flimsy as just paper. So again, if I use this one, I've got something dirty on it right here, but you can put a small photo on here, or you can use it for journal writing, or you can decorate it with something if you want to. So I'll probably be using a couple of these on this spread. I also found, so I may be doing 2 spreads with some greens in them. I'll show you the other pages that I have completed. But I'm thinking about doing a couple of green, because I found so many cool things. I found this picture it was in the Reader's Digest book. It's landscape at Las I don't know, wherever Ashley is. If she's watching, she can pronounce that correctly for me. And then I found this too in a book. It's in a book called The Best Love Poems of All Time. just a photograph that was put in there. And I thought the greens go with these greens that I'm using. So I'm probably going to use that also. Okay. So let me go. Well, let me just do one more thing to this little pocket card before, and then I'll go back and show you what I've done so far. So I was getting ready to put these little tabs on my papers so you kind of know that you like need to pull them down to do something with them. So what I'm just gonna, I did one the other day. I'll try to show it to you when I get to it, that I used a staple for. And then I got to thinking about the staple, because you got that one side of the staple that's rough, and I was concerned about it. I said this can't stick out too far because it's got to be able to. I got concerned about the side that was the raw staple, and without covering it. So if I've got something I can cover a staple with, I'll do it. If not, I'll probably just glue them in. And I'm probably just going to leave these with that little green pattern on it. I think it's cute. This one, maybe I'll put it over here on this side, because this one's already sticking out to where I can barely fold it. So I think I'll put it right here. So let's get my glue. I'm just going to glue it in, and using the same glue I use in my cards. It's art glitter glue, and I buy it on Amazon. They won't ship it in the winter months usually, so I'll usually around the end of the summer I'll buy myself a few containers so I'll have enough to last me. You can buy big refill sizes of it, which I have bought big refill sizes of it that I have over there. So I'll probably have enough to get me through this summer. I'm thinking by the end of the summer I'm going to need to buy some more. Oh, I put that on the wrong piece, y'all. Oh, gee. All right, see if I can get it off before it permanently sticks. Now I'm going to probably have to stamp something over that. So, junk journals, anything goes. The idea, really, I might be able to use that again, is to use things that you have laying around your house. And I have been trying to do that. You'll see a little bit of that when I go back and show you, when I show you my journal, what I've done so far. Okay, that's still going to get covered because that's there. This, though, I'll have to do something with that when I come back to decorate a little bit more. But this pull tab, actually, no, it's not. This is what I wanted to pull. Sorry, put this back. This is the page I want to pull. So, yeah, I'm going to have to cover up both of those spots with something, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure out something. It's no big deal. Y'all, I'm pretty good at covering up mistakes. I've been doing that for a long time. All right, let's get this down now. Doing the right piece this time. Let's glue down the right piece, the tab to the correct piece of paper, which is this one. And you have to be careful when you're doing these things, especially like if you're putting pockets and things. Whoops, Ivy just lost trying to jump straight onto the desk. I think she's realized that she hurts me sometimes when she jumps on me. So she's doing better. Did you want to come up here and say, hey? Come here, baby. Come here. Because I've been fussing at her and trying to teach her that it hurts. Because her little claws are so rough. You want to check things out, baby? You checking it all out? Okay. Let me move this. So we don't need that to get lost. Cannot figure for the life of me, though, what I did with my ruler last night. It was toward the end of the evening that I used it. And I used it for something, and then I needed it again almost immediately, and it was like gone. Oh well, who knows? And she's jumping back down now. Okay, bye, baby. You leaving me? You leaving me? Okay, good girl. I bought her a neat little toy um, over the weekend, and it came, I guess it came Sunday from Amazon, and it's this little round three-tiered little thing, and it has balls in it, and the cat can spin them around, and she's been very entertained with that. She seems to really like it a lot. All right, so I don't want that to get wet on anything. I want to make sure my pockets are still pockets and haven't glued shut. To do that, I'm going to use one of these tags just to make sure. So I check these things every once in a while to make sure they're still good pockets and that stuff isn't sticking together. So I'm going to set that over there to finish drying. And then we're going to go to the front of my signature. So this piece is going to go inside of a cover. And I haven't made my, I've got my cover, but I haven't designed or put anything decoration on my cover yet. I'm using an old file folder that I cut down, and I cut the little thingies off of it. It's a nice thickness. It you know, I can make a bigger bind in it if I wanted to, but I'm just going to make this one what they call a signature that you stick inside. If I wanted to do several signatures, then I probably wouldn't have made it quite as narrow. I would have left some of the width on it here, and then I could have like done a signature for each one of these little creases in here. So I could have maybe had 3 or 4 in here and changed my fold to be, you know, further out so that I would have a larger bind. But anyway, I'm doing it like this. This is my first one, and I'm still playing with it. So, all right, now I got to figure out where let me put it back together, because I've been taking it apart a little bit when I'm working on it, because it's just, as it starts getting bulky, it's a little hard to put together. And I've seen I've seen a couple different thoughts on the putting together. So it's going to all fit in here. That goes in. Must not have that pushed down where it goes, but it will all fit in here. I might have a couple little strings hanging out, but overall it's going to fit in here. I did have a couple papers that were a little big and were going to hang out a little bit, so I folded them down, or I could actually still cut them off because I haven't done anything with those pages yet. Okay, so this is the cover of my signature. This is the front of the signature. I haven't done anything on the back. This is a file folder, so it's pretty sturdy. The other papers are not going to be, most of them are not going to be this thick. So technically I could have used this as a cover, but I would have had to make everything smaller than this to get them to fit. So here's when you open up my little book, and I've made this little what they call a tuck. It's not a full pocket because it's only closed on 2 sides, but this is a tuck. And I've got some old photos that I'm going to be using of my family, my mom's family, my dad's family, pictures of their parents, pictures of them when they were younger, and things like that are what I'm planning on putting in this journal. So some of these are too tiny for photos. This one I could get a photo on, but I could certainly put a photo here or a paper clip in a photo, or and then I could write on the backs of these little journaling cards. All right, here's a large journaling card that I have. Now, what I'm planning to do with these little pieces of paper is to make a cover for my paper clip. So there's a way to do that, and I've got to go back and figure out how to do it, because I knew I wanted to do some but I've got to make sure I'm doing it right before I start doing it. But this is going to be my paper clip. So you can use paper clips to attach things. So I'm using it to attach this journal page. So I left it white on the back. Or you could put a picture and some writing, because that's certainly big enough to probably put a couple of old photos on. And you can clip it in. I could clip in a couple other things here too. Or I could actually glue something in here, maybe a couple of photos. Or just anything else. But so I stamped this page. I don't remember what this kind of paper this was, but I stamped it. And then I put this little piece right here. And this is a fold down. Actually, I think I was planning on doing it that way too. It's a fold down little journaling page. And then we'll put our, I might want to put a tab on that one too. This kind of holds it in place. And I'm putting the clip right in the center of this because I've got something behind it. I've got a pocket behind it. So I guess I could put it up here. Or I could put my paper clip at the bottom, but you're more likely to lose it at the bottom. So since I do have that in pocket on the back, I may come up here, may change this and put my paper clip up here. Pull that up a little further and put my paper clip up here. And then we turn our page here. So this is a large pocket, and I've put 2 tags, and then of course the little journaling page. Again, that's out of that notebook. Here's what's left of that notebook. So I've still got a lot of papers to use. It was kind of funny when I was cleaning out my scrap, cleaning out my room one day. My son was like, "You're keeping that? Really?" Yeah, I use these. So I used to use them all the time to like put behind my stamps, you know, for my scrap paper. And I still use them some, but I've got some other papers that I've been using instead of those, which has turned out great because now I'm using them in my junk journal. I've added junk journal. I've added journaling pages to this. Of course, you could put a picture on those also. We could add more things to this pocket. You could certainly put a couple of more things in these pockets, and they go down pretty far so that then my threads from the tags are not sticking out too far. Okay, and then we've got this page. I've got a pocket here. There's a journaling card. Stamped a couple things on it. I had already made this bookmark and had it in my stash. I just had not put a ribbon on the top of it. And for the life of me, I do not know why I offset this tag and didn't put it in the center. The only thing I can figure I did was if I put it over too far, I was covering up some of that color of that mauve, and I didn't have enough mauve. I don't know, but it is what it is. It's a bookmark. It can be used as a bookmark, but again, if somebody has a picture that would fit back there, they could always put a picture. These are glued in. This is just, scrap piece of paper here that was left over. These were all scraps that I put together to make these cards. And then just to add another little bit of color back here, I've added this piece. And these are actually current scrapbook. This is current paper and Stampin' Up! That I used to do those. So I'm going to stick this back down in here in my little pocket. And let's turn the page. Okay, so this is the page. This is what got me doing this particular junk journal. I knew I'd been wanting to play with junk journals and do them, and I just never got motivated to do anything. But I joined a artistic trading card group, and we swapped trading cards, artistic trading cards. And I made this trading card with my grandmother. And I may have shown it on a video before. I'm trying to get that one I dropped earlier. This was my prototype. So it's a little different than the ones that I mailed off. Now, some of them were this direction and some of them were this direction. But I did use a little bit different paper. I didn't color my things as dark. This paper was flimsy. I used a better grade of paper for these. I added these little dots. Instead of this linen thread, I used this piece of yarn. So, and this was my grandmother on my mom's side, and we called her Nana. And on the back of my trading card is this. This was a Stampin' Up! Stamp set that had just come out, Hills of Tuscany. And it reminded me, I visited the area close to where my grandmother was born. And it reminded me of that area and the area that she lived in. Because when they migrated to this country, they went to an area that they thought was going to be similar to where they lived. So it's little mountains and rolling hills. They're kind of in the foothills of the mountains up in North Carolina. So anyway, so that's what got me doing this. I'm like, oh, I want to do pictures of my grandparents, and if I can find them of my great grandparents, and old pictures of my mom and dad when they were young, and their brothers and sisters. So that's what is going to get housed in this particular junk journal. Things from my family before me. Now, when I sent out my little trading cards, because this had kind of had some history to it, I sent this little slip of paper with them. It wasn't torn like this and aged. It was just a slip of paper. But I tore the edges and I aged it up a little bit. But so it's got my grandmother's name and when she was born, when she passed away, and it tells how she came here when she was 2 years old, came to our country and settled this, her family settled this little village in North Carolina. And anyway, so I clipped it in here as well. So some of these pages, will have places where I can write things and do kind of like what I did right there about her card. But since I had already done that, I wanted to use it. I also made another little bookmark to stick in here, but I left some room to write on the back. I kind of will need to age up this a little bit. My dauber, because I aged that, but not my newspaper. So the reason why this piece of newspaper got put on the back is because when I stenciled, I used a stencil and sponged that on there. I got purple ink up here pretty bad, so I wanted to cover it up. But this is from that bird paper that's in our celebration right now, and Stampin' Up! Celebration paper that you only have till Thursday to get, if there's any of the paper left. And I honestly don't know. Oh, so I was going to tell you about the purple, the little piece of yarn that I stuck on here. So when I was growing up, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old, something like that, shawls had gotten real popular, and my grandmother wanted to do something for me, so she crocheted, and she crocheted me a shawl. And I just thought that shawl was the best thing in the world, and I loved it, and I wore it. It was ugly. Just no other way to put it. But I liked it. I mean, I was, 8, 9, 10 years old. My grandmother bought it for me. Oh my gosh, y'all. Brody, they did this last night, and I took a picture. Brody and Ivy are actually laying together side by side in this little doggy bed under this table. I'm shocked. They did it last night. I thought it was a fluke. And they did it again tonight, so it's kind of crazy. Now I'm going to go pick up this shawl, and I'm going to disturb her, and she's going to want to get up and play with it because that's what she's been doing. She's been playing with this shawl. I leave it. She either plays with it or Brody will lay on it. Because it's soft. But it's not very attractive. I mean, you know, there's no color, rhyme, or reason to it. But I used the little strands of this fringe. I cut off some little pieces of it to go on my cards because that was something that my grandmother had made for me. Um, I really, you know, I found it in a box. Just I don't know. I've had it, I guess, in there for a long time. It was in a box with some other old stuff that I had when I was a kid, and I guess I kept it because she made it for me. Um, I don't know now. It'll be a play toy or a blanket for Brody and Ivy now. But it's cute. They like it. And I have preserved a piece of it in my journal here. So I probably ought to write about that somewhere and tuck it in a pocket. All right, so this is not a pocket. When I get my card back from my swap, they're going to send one of mine back to me. I'm going to put it in the pocket so you can see the back of the card because I like the little hills and valleys that I made on the cards, and the ones going sideways, you know, they're a little different than the ones going this direction. This one I'm just going to keep here in my room. I'm going to put some bulletin boards up right here on my wall, and I'll do that. All right, here's another page. Now, that's the only photo I've put in here yet. I've got to go through the photos and see what photos and stuff that I want to stick in here because I've got some newspaper clippings and stuff, too, that would be cool to put in here. So this is another tuck card. It's only glued down on the two sides. But on the front, there's a cute little journaling card. Here's another journaling card like that one, but it's not glued down. This one, you could put a photo on one side of it if you want to, or, you know, or we could put something on it to write on it. I did glue down another one of these little houses. Again, this was some old Stampin' Up! Paper. And this was one side, the houses were the other side. So I cut the little houses out to use on this page. And again, you know, I'm going to have the little house over here too. And then I got my birds here. Where was it? I had a bird somewhere. Where did I have birds? Somewhere else I had birds. I thought. Did I miss my bird? Did I miss the bird somewhere? Get that back down in there. Hang on. Put those in at the same time. It works better. Ah, yeah. There's the birds. Birds there. Bird there. There we go. And, okay, so this is a small flip page. So I kind of had to do extra for this design. Oh, and there I did the background of that paper. Did I do any more? This is just paper, scrapbook paper, old scrapbook paper from something. This was like a piece of ledger paper. It was very thin, but I was able to stamp on it. But I've got paper. I put this down. This helps reinforce it a little bit, but I didn't want to put anything too heavy on this page. This paper is really thin, so I didn't put anything real heavy on it, which is why there's a pocket over here and not over here, just a paper clip. Okay. And then so I had a piece of scrapbook paper on this side. So on this side, I just stamped it and put the corner tuck. And of course, when you take these out, I mean, you could glue something down here if you want to. All right, and then we got this page. This is part of an envelope, like one of those manila 5x7 envelopes. Here's a tuck. Got a little bit of spot right there. Here's a little tiny pocket. And I just kind of left this one of just some interest. It's a Scrabble thesaurus book, or Scrabble official Scrabble words or something like that. So a little tiny pocket and a little tiny tuck right there. And then when you flip it over to this side of the envelope, I've made it into, um, I've used it as an envelope. And I've got these two cards. This is just something talking about love. I found it in a book, kind of like a devotion book or a Sunday school book on love. This side's got plenty of room to put a photo or write. This one's big enough to put a photo to probably, or just write. And again, another little house. And I put little tabs on the edges of these. This is the one I was talking about with the staple. So on this side, I was afraid that fingers might get caught on that. So I was able to cover it up just a little bit with this leaf. I didn't really cover it up with the flower on that side, but that one has a tab and this one has the little bit of ribbon so that you can see those to pull them out of that little pocket. And then this has got a pocket. This whole piece is a pocket. Again, this is a very flimsy piece of notebook paper. Flimsier than I was thinking notebook paper, that I remember notebook paper, but it could have just been this particular pad of paper I used was really flimsy. So on the other side of this, I have used cardstock. So this is the page that I'm working on now. This page only has this little bit of cardstock, but it's done as a pocket. And I really didn't do anything else to this page. I aged it a little bit with my blending brush and some ink. I don't know. I might come back in here later, add something. That's just part of a book. There's plenty of room to put a photo back here. Here's like another little bookmark, but you got writing space on it here. And here's just a little old piece. This is probably like the front of a book cover. Didn't have any writing in it. So I just kind of made it look like a little piece of stationery. So it can be written on, or if somebody wants to put a photo on there somewhere, they could do that too. So there are these, and it's in this long pocket. And I've still got a good bit of this little book to put together. So, like I said, so we're back to where I'm working right now. So we're working here and here right now. So this, now you can see what some of the paper looks like before I did anything to it. Because this is going to be some paper I haven't used yet. And then you'll have the second half, because these are, you know, underneath of what's coming. So we'll have the other side of this and this. I think this is resume paper. I can't tell right at the moment, but I think it was resume. So it's a little bit thicker than my paper, that ledger paper and that notebook paper was. This is some paper that we got at work. I pulled it out of the trash just because I thought it was interesting. I might just leave that piece like that. I'll probably cover at least part of this. This might stay where you can see it, but and this page, it was going to fold. It was going to be sticking out. I can't get it lined up quite right now, but it was actually going to be sticking out just a hair. So I decided to turn that under and turn it into a pocket. This little page right here came out of one of my husband's textbooks from when he was in elementary school. He went to a private Catholic school. And I just thought the little picture was cute. So I pulled that out. This is a paper bag. So I'll be covering this piece of it. And then when you turn it here, we've got a double pocket. And so you got a pocket here. Where'd my other one go? Got another one of these. And a pocket here. And they're both, I mean, they're decent width pockets there. And I think this is another piece of that resume paper. So that, and then this was just an envelope that somebody gave me a card in. This side of it, I'm going to use the pocket on this side. And here's another piece of paper. Okay, now wait till y'all see. And look at this. This is interesting. So it was an old piece of paper from somewhere. And it's kind of I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can pick it up and pull it up. There's a little bit of a place right here. I think you can see it. So it's darker around here, and then there's like an oval. I don't know what was sitting on this to cause it to get discolored like that, but it's kind of interesting that it's like that. Now, wait till you see what this piece of paper. Look at this. This was a certificate that my mom got May 24th, 1947, in Valdez Elementary School in Burke County. She completed the pupils' annual reading circle course. And let's see, Mama would have been 43, 44, 45. She would have been 14 years old for that. So that was kind of cool. That's interesting. Her principal's last name was Spainhour. I knew a Spainhour that lived here, and the person was a here where I live, and he was a orchestra director. He played the violin. That's interesting. Okay, and then this is another like an old book page. I think this actually came out of that school textbook, and so I used it. And then this is going to be the center of my book. Oops, and that doily is supposed to open. So I may actually tack this doily down to this piece of paper because it's kind of hard to open, and I think it would do better like that actually. Okay, and then and see the little smiley face on the book, and you can tell it's old because it's old and faded. All right, and then the other side of the certificate. So now we're getting, that was the middle. So now we're seeing the other sides of the pages. See, my daughter had written Mom right there. That'll get covered up. All right, and then here's the other side of the paper bag, and then we'll have a pocket here on this side of the paper bag. There's the other side of the little school book, textbook, and then here's the other side of that piece that I told you I pulled out of the trash at work. And so again, I folded in. I might could have left this one out, and I might still, but I went ahead and did that so I wouldn't forget about it. And then here, and I think this is where I'm working right now. Yep, that's where I'm working right now. So when I took it, I pulled all this out and got it out of my way so I can work right here. And then here's that flimsy, see how flimsy, I mean, this notebook paper is really flimsy. This book piece that came out of an old book is a whole lot thicker than this. Here's the other side of the manila envelope with the pocket right here. And this paper. And then again, the ledger paper that's flimsy. I don't think it's as flimsy as the notebook paper, but it's pretty flimsy too. And this is kind of cool. I didn't notice this right away. I was rummaging through a file cabinet at my mom and dad's house. And I came across this notepad of this ledger paper. I mean, it was a whole pad of it. And Daddy said I could have it. It's got the name of the company that he worked for at the top, Clark Schwabel Fiberglass, Anderson, South Carolina. So that's pretty cool too. Got that pulled in there. And then we're getting towards the end of the book right here. And then there's the end of the signature. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to show y'all what was going on here. And I am going to be having a class at my home for a journal. What we're going to do is we're going to put together, I was going to tell y'all this earlier. So there's a couple different theories. So the signatures, you can put them together different ways. You can put them together with washi tape or paper. You can also sew them. It's very simple. sewing process, and you go to the middle, which we said was where my doily was. So it's right around here is the middle. And what you do is you can put 3 or 5. I'll probably just do 3. You put 3 holes all the way through. So you'd put one here, and you put one here, and you put one down here. You put 3 holes all the way through, and you use some thread. There's a special weave that you use to bring it through, and that holds it together. Now you could just do your signature and just have your signature sewn together, but really, if you didn't, I'm not real sure how you would put your cover on it. So when I sew mine together, I want to sew the cover on. So I haven't decorated my cover yet, so that's one reason I haven't sewn my signature in, because I felt like it would be easier to decorate my cover before I sewed it in. And that was the other thing, is that some people out there that make them say to go ahead and decorate your signature. Whoops, I lost my paper clip and that piece of paper. Oh, there it is. To go ahead and decorate your signature, all of it, put everything in it, you know, all your decorations, all your pockets before you sew it together, because it's easier to work with. In which, like what I was saying, I mean, you can see it's getting a little bulky here. And so I was pulling pieces out, like I'm pulling this out. Not that. I pulled it out here. I'm pulling this out to work on it. And to make it easier to work on with less bulk, especially on this side. This side, what I'll do with that is when if I'm stamping on this side or anything right here, I'll pull it out like this and work on it. So that's probably how I'm going to work on this, because I'm finished over here, so I can just pull this out and work on it. And that's probably what I'm going to do. But some people say it's better to do it like I'm doing right now. Other people go ahead and sew the thing in before they do any decorations at all. So I'm going to do my next one that way. So I can kind of have done it both ways and figure out which way I prefer to do it. I'm kind of at the point right now, though, where I kind of want to do my cover and kind of want to put it together just so I can have it all together. But I know what I've been doing so far. It has been nice to be able to pull it apart to work on it. Especially like this page behind here, I stamped this, so I was able to pull it out. I took this out. This was already on there. If I had thought about it, I wouldn't have put that down yet. This wasn't such a big deal, but to stamp my images. But if they don't come out perfectly stamped, it really doesn't matter. It's just background. It's just background. So anyway, that's my junk journal. That's the start of my junk journal journey. So stamping and paper crafting with Inky Ivy in her first journal. She don't have any paw prints in it yet, but we'll have to put some paw prints at the end. It's because she has helped. She has definitely helped. So we'll probably put some paw prints on this page right here. Just saying. If you have any questions, I'm having my class on my junk journal. Let me pull out one of my little calendars from somewhere. I still don't have one up for me to look at yet. Isn't that smart? I need to do that. So here's my calendars. I never finished all my calendars because things happen. I'm going to try to get some more calendars to give to people. Definitely going to make more next year because I'm going to start them earlier. So March the 9th is my regular card class. It'll be in the afternoon at 1 o'clock on Saturday. My junk journal class is on the 23rd of March. And I think I put down starting that one at 1 too, but I might start that one a little earlier. like I said, I think what we're going to do that day, I've been thinking through it. I think what we're going to do is go ahead and sew our junk journals together and put them into whatever I'm using for this. And we're going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to give everybody some things that they can use to decorate their pages with. And so we can make some pockets. Because just to fold all your papers, and I'm going to go ahead and have all the papers picked out for them for the first one. You fold the papers and you put them in there. That doesn't take that long to do. What takes long to do is decorating it. But I can go ahead and give them a couple ideas like pockets and tucks or belly bands or journaling cards, you know, just the different, the paperclip covers. So, and putting in something like this and putting a pocket in there. So that's how we're going to do the class. Everything will be provided for you if you decide you want to come to the class. I think I'm going to charge $30 for this class. And I hadn't decided what else. I've got some other things I'm thinking about. But anyway, if you would like to come, if you live anywhere close to upstate South Carolina in Anderson, let me know. My space is limited, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 5. I might can get 7, but 6 or 7, I'm going to have to cut off the number. 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 6 or 7. So if you're interested, let me know. And I appreciate you coming in and visiting with me this evening. I'm going to pull out a few more cards that I had done with some celebration items. There's the watermelon patch card in my envelope. Here's one of the ones with the cute little jungle animals. Well, I guess that's the only 2 I have readily. This is done with that set I did on the back of my grandmother's picture, the Hills of Tuscany. That's where I was just playing with it and trying to figure out how to use the stamps. Turned out really cute. I went and did another house and fussy cut it out so I could have a little dimension on my card, and added the ribbon, typed in the You're in My Thoughts that comes with that set. Put it on a garden green base and a balmy blue. Open her up. Put some trees in there too. I need to mail that to somebody like now. Okay. Oh, and there's my envelope. Big hugs. So, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Come visit me. Share and like. And if you could please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ask your friends to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I need to increase my viewership so that the YouTube algorithms will get my stuff out there a little bit more. So I'm trying to get on here. I'm going to try to get on here a little bit more regularly. And as long as my mom and dad stay healthy, I could probably do it a couple times a week. It's been a lot. So you guys take care. God bless, and have a great rest of your week. And talk to you later. Bye-bye.